Hi, I'm Dorothy Watkins, and welcome to Introduction to Back Restoration. So, today we're going to spend half an hour going into a really deeply relaxing position, supine, with the legs up on the chair. And this is a fantastic position if you've strained your back, pulled a muscle, or if you're experiencing any back pain. This is really great for allowing the breath to move into the muscles in the back and create change and release. So I'm just going to get into position now, and this is a really nice half an hour where you can go into a deeply relaxing place and really just let the mind rest and be present with the body and allow the breath to move into the back muscles and just observe where the tension's held, and then over time you can start to release it and the spine will start to unravel. So I'm just going to get into position now. Okay, I think that's okay position. I might just bring it back a little bit. Right. So just observing how your back is, and it may be that you're experiencing quite a bit of pain, and that getting down onto the mat might be difficult. So if that is the case, then you could practice the breathing techniques that I'm doing over the next half an hour from a sitting position on a chair. And then as the back starts to release over time, if you were to practice it on a few occasions, you could then come down onto the mat, maybe after practicing those breathing exercises for a few weeks, and then the muscles start to release and there's more possibility for movement. You could also be practicing these breathing techniques from a sofa if you were lying down. Um, Ideally, you're lying down on a mat, and that's the best position to release the back. But there might be several steps along the way to get to the mat. So it's really listening to your body. You could do these breathing exercises from lying in bed as well, with the soles of the feet um, on the bed, and the palms facing the ceiling. So just listening to your body and what's possible for you. I've often found with lots of people that I've worked with who've had quite strong back issues, that there's been a process, and over time we've got to a place where they can get down onto the mat, and then a lot more flexibility becomes possible, and then they're doing all sorts of things. But first of all, you need to work with the process of what's going on in your back so that you can get there. Okay, so we're just going to slide down and lengthening the legs up onto the chair and lengthening out with the arms. So you've got the lower legs up on the chair, and you want to just slightly adjust the lower pelvis and breathing into the lower belly. And observing the whole of the back on the mat. And breathing into the lower belly. And gently bringing the chin into the chest, relaxing the back of the shoulders. And allowing the mind to rest. And if a thought comes up, then just letting it pass and coming back to the breath in the lower belly. And allowing the breath to slow down, observing each individual inhalation and exhalation. And now allowing the breath to move up to the midriff area. So the breath is moving in a wave from the lower belly and then coming up to the midriff area. Observing each individual breath. And now allowing the breath to travel in a wave from the lower belly to the midriff and then up to the center of the chest area. And then gently exhaling down the front body and through the lower belly. Becoming aware of each individual center of the breath, from the lower belly to the midriff and up to the center of the chest. And then exhaling down the length of the front body. And now allowing the breath to travel up to the upper chest area, to the shoulders, and then expanding with the breath out to the tips of the fingers. And then gently exhaling down the front body. And now bringing the awareness to the back body. And breathing up the back body, spiraling around each vertebrae. All the way up to the base of the skull. And then gently exhaling down the back body. All the way down to the tailbone. And now becoming aware of the muscles around the spine. And breathing into the whole of the back body. Now bringing the awareness into the side. As we inhale into the side ribs, allowing the shoulders to drop into the mat. And now breathing into the whole of the trunk area. Becoming aware of the front body, the back body, the side body. And now bring the awareness down to the feet and allowing the breath to travel up from the center of the sole of each foot, traveling up the lower leg, the upper legs, and up through the center of the trunk. And expanding out along the arms, out to the fingertips, and traveling up all the way to the top of the head. And then exhaling down the whole length of the body, and through the soles of the feet. And repeating that in your own time, the breath moving like a wave up the whole length of the body, visualizing the body as an empty vessel to receive the cleansing breath. And now bringing the knees up towards the belly and just gently rocking the lower part of the back, releasing the back of the pelvis. And just allowing the back of the heels to rest on the chair as we gently lift the arms and circling around with the elbows, and just bring the chin in towards the chest and yawning if you feel like yawning, and bringing the arms over the front body into a hug. Bring the chin into the chest and becoming aware of the breath in the back body, And breathing all the way up the back to behind the shoulder. Now circling around again with the elbows, and allowing the opposite arm to come and rest on top. And breathing into it. Breathing all the way up the back body, up to behind the shoulder blades as you feel space growing in the upper part of the back. Then circling around with the elbows, holding on to the right wrist with the left hand as we spiral up and back. So we're just spiraling up and back. So we're rotating the right wrist with the left hand, arching up and over the head. And you can either have the back of the heels on the chair or you can have the whole lower leg on the chair. So just feeling out what's more comfortable for you. And then just dropping the back of the shoulders into the mat, dropping the center of the spine into the mat, and breathing into the whole of the back body. And just finding that place with the legs where the center of the spine can feel easy and spacious. And now we're going to spiral up and back. And coming. And now holding on to the left wrist up and over the head. And then allowing the arms to rest above the head. Won't reach the floor. Then you can just have some pillows can be slightly further up and supported by the and then dropping the back of the elbows to drop down and just becoming aware of the center. And now breathing up from the lower. Wrist with the right hand again, arching up, left arm, sends a ripple all the way up the left arm into the left, over the front body. And just allowing the arms to lay the ceiling as the back of the shoulders, bringing the heel of the feet onto the edge of the chair so that the knees are coming in. Then bringing the hands in behind the thighs, feet on the edge of the chair. And breathing into the back, lock from How your back area, quite deep in the back, your experience to bring a space of loving the breath. If a thought comes up, just let bring a sense of that with muscles, that position. And for those that are feeling and it's feeling the spiral supine onto your left side, and we're going or for you, and the side of the left arm to the right side, and just breathing and allowing the breath into the side ribs, in out to the fingertips. Take the right arm and back to meet the left hand. And now we're going to taking care of the spine side. And breathing into the back body, breathe the inside of the right arm across the top. The head rolls round. And just breathe, drop, and then move to. We're going to roll, breathing into the whole of go into letting go. And now allowing the breath to really expand into the center of the chest, the upper chest, and traveling along the arms out to the fingertips. As we feel this lovely sense of expansion in the whole of the trunk area, and really feeling the whole of the spine connecting to the mat, right from the tailbone, traveling up to the top of the back, feeling that connection with the spine and the mat, and then lots of space in the back of the neck, traveling up to the top vertebrae. Just breathe the chin into the chest, and then just coming back with the heels. So you can just slightly lift the back of the pelvis if this is feeling possible for you. So you're on the back of the heels, and then you're just gently lifting up the back of the pelvis, and then coming back down again on the exhalation. Breathing into the lower belly as you lift the back of the pelvis. And rolling back down on the exhalation. And now taking a moment to drop into a space of deep relaxation and meditation. And you can really take your time with this and give yourself as long as you need. So you can always pause the film and just allow yourself to spend 5 or 10 or 15 minutes in a space of deep relaxation, observing each breath, allowing the mind to rest, and just being with each breath. Then gently bringing the knees up to the belly and rocking from side to side. And of course, if this feels too painful for you, then just stay in the position with the legs on the chair and then gently rolling over onto the side body. And if you're practicing this from a sofa or from a bed, then you can just have the soles of the feet on the sofa or the bed and then just gently roll onto the side body into the fetus position and placing the hands underneath the side of the head and just coming into a restful position and breathing into the side ribs. And it's very nice to practice this sequence with a blanket over the body, with the legs up on the chair, or if you're on the sofa or on the bed. Or you can be practicing it with the soles of the feet on the mat. And then gently on the exhalation, coming up to a sitting position. And just taking time, and you can spend some time in meditation from sitting here, which is very nice, where one can observe the breath at the entrance of the nostrils and just allow the mind to rest and observing how the back body is feeling, observing the spine. And you can go into a deep space of meditation from here. So that's a little gentle introduction to back restoration. So I will also be doing a longer one where we'll be really going into, even deeper with the breath and the release in the back, because this is the whole journey with the yoga, is to find that place of deep release and that real sense of center, presence, and then so much movement is possible, and taking time to do that and find out what's going on in the body, because often so many things are held in the body and we don't realize that's what's happening, and then we take the time to do the breathing and the release, and things come to the surface and they're able to be transformed, and places that we've held onto in the back body can start to release, and we can start to feel a sense of expansion within the body, and it's really a lovely, lovely space to be in. And obviously, ideally, when we do this practice, we would be lying on a mat, but there can be all sorts of physical conditions that people have or that you may have, and so it may not be possible to get onto the mat, and that's why I've also been talking about the sofa and the bed. So if you are experiencing a particular condition that means you can't get onto the mat, that you can still fully take part in this breathing exercise and really go deeply into that inner relationship with yourself and just what's going on in the body and where things are held. And it's amazing how over time we can release these different things that are held in the body. Um, so I hope you've enjoyed that. And this is a really good basis for the yoga to arise from. So I will be doing a longer session that will include the cat position, various other deeply releasing positions, so that we can really go into a much longer, in-depth back restoration and release session. So when you need to, or if you've pulled or strained a muscle, you can just use these exercises as a tool to find your center and over time. So it can be different amounts of sessions it takes to release the back. It can be very different for different people. One of my yoga teachers spent a few years practicing a sort of real in-depth journey with supine breathing before she went into the yogic asanas. So I hope you've enjoyed that, and I will be following up with this longer back restoration um, class, which will be next week. So namaste, have a lovely day.